The first deportation flight has landed in Venezuela from the U.S.
The two governments have reached an agreement to resume repatriations. Joining us now, live from the White House, is CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe. Thanks for being with us.
Good to see you guys.
Okay, so the two countries don't have diplomatic relations, so give us a little bit of the background on what led to a deal here.
Well, look, they have been pushing, the Trump administration has, Venezuela to start retaking undocumented immigrants, especially those that may be members of Tren de Aragua, which is that big violent gang that the Trump administration argues has been causing violence across the country, and as it was sort of seen as an early sign of potential resumption of more formal relations if Venezuela would be willing to take these flights. There have been issues for years, of course, across administrations with dealing with Nicolas Maduro and his government, but in this case, by taking back those flights, it's seen as a good, encouraging first step as the Trump administration reconsiders a potential relationship. Remember, a few weeks ago, there was a Trump administration official in the country who brought back 6 Americans who they say had been wrongfully detained. And so there has been some swapping going on. But when it comes to broader economic or political relationship, that doesn't exist yet and would have to be built off of the idea that Venezuela starts taking these flights.
Can we talk about how they're identifying these migrants? We have the U.S. Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs describing them as illegal aliens. How are they going through and arresting these people?
Well, you got 2 different groups of people. The ones that were sent back this weekend to Venezuela directly would have gone back through what's called Title 8 authority, which means they've been through the process, they've been identified, and in some cases charged as gang members, and so they're gone. The bigger issue is those 261 that were sent to El Salvador last weekend, many of them Venezuelan nationals. We asked, are you really just using tattoos to identify them as gang members? They didn't rule out the possibility that that is just part of it, or all of it in some cases. And of course, since then, we've seen the list of names released, and we found that, in fact, there are a handful of people on that list who are not known to be gang members of any gang, whether it's Tren de Aragua, whether it's MS-13, or some other violent entity. They just got scooped up, in part because they had suspicious-looking tattoos, is what their lawyers or their family allege. And so this is at the crux of the legal fight that continues today here in Washington between a federal district court judge who's blocked any further flights like this and the Trump administration, saying to them, you got to give me some sense of who you sent, how many more you'd like to send, how you're identifying those that need to be sent back, and a host of other questions. The administration has dragged its feet on it so far and fully anticipates that the fight over using that law, the Alien Enemies Act, this way will go all the way to the Supreme Court for a final decision.
And Ed, we talk a little bit about that other flight. A judge put a halt on that flight and said it needs to turn around midair, and it landed in El Salvador anyway. Is this a constitutional crisis now?
The issue there is whether or not ultimately, if this gets to the Supreme Court, as I said, what does the administration do at that point? Do they, if they're told to go back and get those people, or most of those people, do they do so? The administration has said we're following this court order, which is blocking them from sending those kinds of flights under that authority, but they're continuing to push to round up undocumented immigrants they believe are here wrongfully and, of course, maybe causing either crime or some other kind of violence or be a national security threat, and they'll start processing them. Either way, the administration says it's pushing to fulfill that promise of finding these people, getting them out of the country. Remember, the goal was about 1,000 to 1,200 people per day. Unclear that they're actually hitting that. Where there'd be a crisis is if eventually court rulings come down that say you cannot do this way, and they keep doing it. So far, by not sending any more flights, they're not. So the talk of a crisis or the actuality of one seems to be off, at least for now, at least in this realm.
All right, Ed O'Keefe from Washington, D.C., thank you so much.
Take care.